Hello and welcome. My name is Aveen and I am your soul coach. This is a message for the Blu-ray souls, those of you who identify and resonate with the Blu-ray blueprint. If you don't know what I'm talking about and if this inspires you, you can go through my videos and you will see there's a good few videos there for Blu-rays. Are you a Blu-ray soul? And messages for Blu-rays. So you can check that out first. For those of you who identify as Blu-ray, this is for you. This is very important that moving forward with your life that you go with the flow. You've been putting far too much emphasis on perfection, on trying to be everything to everybody and trying to always be switched on for people. And as a Blu-ray soul, it's important that you recognize that you have a super sensitivity. You have a really, really strong empathic nature. So you're going to want to heal and help and care for everybody, but that's just not possible because you're spreading yourself too thin. So how can you ease that pressure off yourself? In these 5D energies of 2020, many of us have been really, really called a disservice and have been feeling the pressures. You take the pressure off yourself by telling yourself that you have source energy flowing through you, that it's not all on your little shoulders. In fact, the more you can step aside and be an open channel for the source flow to enter through your body, through your hands, in your speech, in your words and in your actions, you're actually channeling that prime creator source energy, and that takes all the pressure off you. When I am connected and when I am feeling in the flow, I can take on the world. I can move mountains. I can work on numerous amounts of people. I can do energy hands-on healing work for hours. I can do meditation after meditation class. Because I'm stepping aside. Aveen, the personality, is making space, is completely stepping aside out of the picture to make sacred space in my central meridians, in my chakras, through my body, opening up the soul star and allowing that energy flow to come through so that it's source energy that's creating that power. It's source energy that is radiating out into the world. Because the truth is, you are source energy. You are an extension of source, of God. But part of the deal in being in this time-space reality is that you will take on a physical body. And in taking on the physical body, your soul agrees to have an ego attached and have a personality invested in the body. So the more you can just say, it's okay, I don't need to be perfect because source is perfect. So if I can just take that pressure off my human self, off your little shoulders, you can get the energy moving. Now, creating free energy is a great way to open up the central meridian system. So you open up the soul star, you open up the earth star, and you basically see yourself igniting those two polarities, and you see the energy flowing in both directions. So the energy is flowing up to the heavens and the energy is flowing from the heavens down into the earth. So they seem like opposite, but they're actually complementary energies flowing in sync. There is a paradoxical flow to this yin yang, okay? So everything in this time space has its dualistic nature. But if we combine them, if we have the energy going up and the energy going down, we create this union, we create this synergy, okay? And that's what creates free energy in your system. When you open the fountains, the earth star, soul star, in ancient esoteric traditions, they often called it opening or activating the fountains. And you visualize that flow going up and down, then you have this free energy being created in your system. And you can start your energy work, your massage, your whatever healing modality that you're into, counseling, positive psychology, whatever. It's always important that you turn on those polarities, make the connection to heaven and earth, feel the sync of the energy going up and the energy going down, and then step aside and allow source to enter you. And then you will be amazed at what comes out of your mouth. You will literally go, wow, that was not me talking. That was source, that was God, or whoever you connect with. Maybe you connect with the angelic realm or the fairies, but you will feel those higher vibrational frequencies communicating on behalf of the soul with whom you're working with. So that's something I always do as well. Before I work with a client, I set the intention that allow me to speak, allow me to work and to speak and to communicate on the client's behalf. You say the person's name who you're going to be engaging with, okay? And you welcome in their source creator of all that is, and you set that intention that you're willing to trust what's coming in. So that's the next point, the next theme of this message for Blue Rays. It's vital that you get to a place in your body that you trust what's happening. So if you're channeling, if you're counseling, you need to trust the information that's coming through. If you're doubting and insecure about what you're sharing, it's going to shut down that connection. It's going to shut down the flow of free energy, and it's going to affect what's actually happening in that session. So it won't be as pure, it won't be as smooth, it won't be a powerful experience for the client. So it's really important that you allow this free energy to happen and you go into a complete state of trust. Because when we're in a state of allowing, we're in the feminine. Healing work is a very feminine practice. It's a feminine role that you're playing. It's nurturing, it's compassion, it's love, it's care. For those of many Blue Rays take caring positions, caring roles, okay? So before you go into care for your patients, do as I advised, and you'll find that you have more energy. Creating that free energy, opening up the soul star and the earth star and really getting the energy going is going to make such a difference to how you carry yourself in your work, the energy you bring into your work day, and you're going to find that you're able to get a lot more done without dipping into your own reserves. Because when you're working from source and source is flowing through you, you're not depleting your own energy field. You're not relying on your reserves. You're allowing this higher energy to pulsate through you. So source energy is infinite, right? It's abundant, it's prosperous, it's eternal. It's not going to deplete like your human energy or human body is. People who do, like the avatars in India, for instance, Mother Meera, Mother Amma, they can go for hours and hours, days and days on end, where they're hugging people and they're doing their darshan. And that's because they're avatars, right? They are channeling the goddess, the God force, the female side of the God force energy. So they have this nurturing energy that seems to be infinitely flowing because they're not dipping into their own human reserves. That's really important. Trusting, as I said, really, really moot point to make. Trusting that this really strong message, and it to you it might seem bonkers, like the amount of times I got a message for a client and it just made no sense, like it was a word or a symbol or an image, okay, and I'm going, why am I getting that name, okay? And I recently had a client and she said, what's my angel's name? And I got this really unusual name that is not typical of Ireland or Irish people or anybody really that I know. And I just said the name, and she had this big reaction, and she said, I have one daughter and that's my daughter's name. That's trusting. That is like, as soon as I got that download, it came out my mouth. I'm at a point now in this work where I trust what comes up, because what often can happen is if you hold back information, they're not getting the full picture of the reading. And then later on, they might come back to you and you're like, I knew that. I saw that image, or I saw that name, or I saw that message, and I didn't relay it because I was scared, because I was doubting myself or insecure. It's really important that you get over your insecurities. If you want to be a good carer, nurturer, healer, shaman, counselor, psychotherapist, whatever, anything in these feminine roles where you're giving nurturing, you're giving upliftment. You know, I really wish I could change the name healer to uplifter. To me, if I could call myself anything, if people say, what do you do? I would like to say, I'm an uplifter, because really that's what I do. I think the word healer suggests that people are broken, which they are not. But we say healer because that's what people understand. If I say I'm a uplifter, people go, whoa, 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 what's that? So maybe the world's not quite ready for that label, but maybe I'll start using it. I have used it a few times. When I'm talking to the angels and a person is coming, I'll say, you know, help me be the most powerful uplifter I can be on behalf of this soul. So that's my focus. So when you know your role is to step aside, is to be a channel, is to trust the information, then it doesn't take up all this excessive energy. And you're not inviting in those excess potential energies either. You're much more neutral. It's not going to affect how you feel after the session. I've actually just had a bunch of clients. I've just finished. It's been a long day. I'm sweating. But I'm full of energy, as you can see. I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling revitalized. That's because it's almost like I wasn't even there in some ways. I mean, it's work, but it's coming from a neutral space because I just trust the information, I trust the guidance. And like I said, it can often mean nothing to you. Don't try to make it apply to you. Whatever symbol or message or name you're getting, it's not your reading. It's not for you. You're the messenger. Be the messenger. Pass on the message. Sometimes the message is pretty intense. A lot of times. I had a client where I had to really hone in on the fact that they were in a toxic situation, and it was important that they vacate and that they get themselves to safety. That's an important message. If you're keeping that to yourself because you don't want to rock the boat and you're afraid to upset the person, or you're not actually fulfilling your role, because your role is to receive the guidance and help to direct that person's, to shine a light on the directions that soul can take. And especially when you get those red flags that somebody's in danger, it's really important that you relay those messages. And I learned that from a very young age. I remember when I was so young, and I was, at the time I was doing parties, like people hired me to, I only did it a few times because I found it, it wasn't the road for me. But there are people who do readings who will go to parties and there'll be groups of people. And there was a lady there, and I knew that this lady was being absolutely abused left, right and centre by her husband. And as a young girl, I was so nervous and scared to say that to her. And she didn't welcome that news, but I heard after, because she did contact me, that she said, I wasn't ready to hear it, but actually deep down my soul was, because obviously the angels wouldn't give me information that the person's not ready to hear. That startled her so much that it actually gave her the shock she needed. The fact that she knew her angels were aware of her toxic situation and were really concerned about her safety and her well-being, that gave her the strength, it gave her the power, the empowerment to actually get up and make that change and actually leave that person and start her happy, healthy life. So you have to be brave. You have to be courageous. I know when I go to see somebody for a session, I don't want them to hold back. I don't want them to filter the guidance coming through. I want them to really, to lay it on me, because that's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for help, direction, guidance, understanding, integration, processing. So when we have the full picture and we can see our soul blueprint, that gives us the empowerment to make wise decisions for our own well-being. So that's what it's about. It's not about shocking people and telling them what to do. I will never tell someone what to do. I will just say your angels are aware that you're in this situation. They strongly advise you to revise your plans. You have an option. If if your soul is saying it wants to leave, it doesn't feel free, you remind that person you have that option. You don't have to stay in a toxic situation. Sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes we just need permission to leave. Sometimes we just need a higher power to step in, like the angels, like Source, or or else loved ones who passed on in spirit. Sometimes a loved one will come in and say, my son isn't safe, my son is with an abuser, or whatever. And sometimes that's enough. You get that permission. You feel, okay, I can leave now. I need to pack my bags and go to safety. So that's really important. You have to be courageous and be brave. And that will be the difference between a powerful shaman and a not so powerful shaman. Somebody who's not afraid to own the truth and to compassionately communicate that with love to that person. So those of you who are Blu-rays, you're incredibly nurturing roles, right down from nurses to, residential carers, to shamans and counselors and hands-on energy healers and everything. Sometimes you'll be giving, maybe you're a massage therapist, but you pick up things, you pick up messages while you're giving massage because you're actually engaging in that person's energy field. Don't be afraid to say the message. Say, I know you're here for a massage, but just to say that I'm getting really strong. Like, I often pick up messages for people. Would you like me to share what I'm getting for you? And if the person's like, yes, you can go ahead and share that information. Because I used to go to a lady and she used to pick up amazing things while she was given an amazing massage. And it was great because I wasn't just getting a physical recalibration, I was also getting guidance and direction. But that took guts for her to cross the line between physical therapist into something else. But because she was courageous in doing that, she actually benefited and helped an awful lot of people. So I think that's important, that being courageous, having that sense of trust, allowing, receptive mode. I don't care if you're a man or a woman or transgender. Doing this Blu-ray work is a yin, it's the feminine. Many of you are men, but you're in caring roles. So it's not about human masculine and feminine. It's about allowing spirit to work through you in your actions, in where you place your hands, and in how you speak, and in how you share with that person. So I hope this was helpful. I'm doing more, getting lots of uploads for Blu-rays. I'll be doing a video comparing crystals with Blu-rays. Very, very similar vibrations, very, very similar blueprints, but there are a few little things there that actually highlight the difference between the two. I'm actually a hybrid of crystal Blu-ray, so some of you could be that also as well. We have hybrids of everything, lots of hybrids going on here. So I hope you're having a great day. Please give my video a thumbs up. That tells me that you like this content, and I will provide more for you so I know what to focus on and what you want from me regarding these videos. I am available for Skype sessions. Go to my website, www.avingdoyle.com. I leave the link in the description box below. Drop me a comment, let me know how you're all doing. I love you so much. Take care. God bless.